Hi ladies, recently I was surfing the YouTube channels and I came across a project where a crafter had used some really cute photo corners, and she used a Martha Stewart punch for these photo corners, and it was neat, I thought, because you could just stick your pictures down in it once you finished completing your project. But so I got to thinking, I know there's a Cricut cartridge that has photo corners, and so I went through my cartridge library, and sure enough, there's the cartridge that's called Picturesque, which is this cartridge, and it has a ton of photo corners, all shapes, sizes, designs, as you can see here. There's one. There are tons of photo corners on this cartridge, and I found one that was similar to the one that I saw on the YouTube project, and so I made a whole bunch of them. And this is what the page looks like when I got finished cutting all of those photo corners. And I'm going to come back to this sheet in a little bit. So I cut out all my photo corners, and then I got to thinking even more. I often use my Cricut cartridges to create mini albums. So, you know, I'm in the mini most all the time. Let me admit, I'm in the mini album mode. I love to create mini albums. So I got to looking at the Picturesque cartridge, and I said, I can make a mini album out of this cartridge. I just have to flip through it and see what I've got. And so I did, and so I came up with this image. It's a card image, but I thought about using my Gypsy and changing that a little bit to make that the base for my mini album. And so that's what I did. So I got out my Gypsy, and this is what I came up with. I don't know if you can see that, but I sized it. I may have to turn this light off so you can see. So I sized it to be about, I think that says 5, and let me press on that. This is about 6.5 by 6.5. This shape is. And so I decided to do that for my front and back cover. And for my, and that's just another image that I'm going to use. And then for my, that's the back. And these are some other images from the cartridge that I'm going to use. And for the inside covers, let me just move that around. I'm just going to do the shadow of that without the intricate designs on the corner. Like that. Those would be the inside pages. And then I went through the cartridge and got some other designs that or images that I wanted to use. Like these. I'm going to use those, this feather and that. And then I also made some photo mats from the cartridge as well. And then here's my last layer. I'm going to also use this image. I hope you can see that. Okay, so usually when I do a mini album like that with the Cricut, I always do a sort of test cut. So this is the test cut. This is the size of the mini album. And as you can see, this is the front cover with the intricate design there. But the inside pages are going to be just a shadow. They're not going to have that intricate cut. So I went ahead and cut out some of my images. I cut out my front and back. This is the front. And these are my inside pages. here. And I cut about 4 of those. And then here's my back cover. These are the photo mats that I showed you on my Gypsy. I think I cut about 3 of those, so I'm going to use those. Cover these with pattern paper. This is one of the images I'm going to use on a page. And this is that feather image that I'm going to use. And this is one of the images that's on there. I'm going to use that on the page. And you could put a picture in there. And this is another image I'm going to use on a page. So you could put a picture in there. And this as well could be used on a page to hold some tags. If you put that there. And this. And I had initially thought about putting these on the inside of the front and back cover. But I don't know. I may put them on the front. I'm not for sure yet. So, I haven't cut out my pattern paper yet. But I do have my base images. And I cut this using my Cricut Expression. And I cut it on, used multi-cut. And this is like a lightweight chipboard. Is that chipboard you get from Joann's that has the 3 different weights of chipboard. And I used the white chipboard. So when I put this mini album together, I'll be back and I'll show you the finished product. But as I said, I'm also going to go back to this sheet. And I think I'm going to use this for a layout. So I'm also going to complete a layout using this leftover negative space from the photo corners. And I'll show you that layout as well when I come back with a mini album. So stay tuned. So here I am, I'm back. I've completed my mini, and I must say that I am very pleased with the results. So the paper line that I used was the Lemon Flower Stack by DCWV. And this is the first time that I've cut into this stack, so I was reluctant, but I did, and I'm so glad that I did. So here is the mini, and again is using the Cricut cartridge, Picturesque, and there were only 2 things that I used on the mini that was not from the cartridge, and that's these flowers, which are from the Flower Shop cartridge, Cricut cartridge, and another flower that's inside that I had in my stash. So let me show you what I did with the mini. On the front cover, I decided to put the fence that I showed in previously. And I told you I didn't know whether I was going to put it on the outside or the inside. So I put it on the outside. And as I said, I made these flowers using the Flower Shop cartridge. I added this little feather pin that I had in my sewing stash and just added some beads on it. And I made a tag. This was one of the photo mats tags that I had on my Gypsy that I had already designed, and so I just added a little button at the top, and so on the back you can place a photo, and I added the photo corners, which were also cut from the cartridge, and so that just slides in there. And when you open to the first page, I use that image also that was on my Gypsy, and cut the pattern paper and adhered it. Now this is the other flower that I had in my stash that is not from the cartridge. And I just added some bling in the center, and I made some tags. And what I did was I attached some mini shipping tags and onto the tags that I made from the design paper, and I stamped them. And so you can flip the tags over, and there's journaling on the back. And here is another journaling, and then I just stamp these words there. And so these can be used as photo mats, and they go right in the pocket. So here's another one of the photo mats, and I just adhered it to the mini. And this is one of the images that I had on my Gypsy. And I cut that and used that to sort of as to hold the photo mat, and I added some bling. And there is a tag that I cut, and then I stamped it on the back. I adhered a shipping tag and did some stamping on it, and that fits behind the photo mat there. On the next page, here is another image from the cartridge, and I just put this in to let you see that you can add pictures on some pattern paper, and then just stick that down in there, and the pictures will show up there. And I added a sticker from my collection, and these are some punch flowers that I did. Over on this page, this is also another image from the cartridge. I added this silver center, sort of like a foil center. That's some pattern paper that I have. And I added some bling here, and I made some more punch flowers and added some bling in the center and some of the just a little punch circle from some of that same paper. On this page, this was the last page that I did. I sort of worked my way from the front and I skipped around to different pages. So this was the last page I did, and what I did was I cut one of the card features from the cartridge and made it into a little book, photo album. And this is how the card cuts out that design. And so when you open it up, and then it cuts this design on that side, and you open it up, it's a photo mat, so you can place photos inside. And I added some bling on the corners. And so it's just held together with this thin ribbon. And over here on this page, this is also an image from the cartridge. And I cut a photo mat also using my Gypsy, sized it so that it would fit inside the image, added some bling, and this flower is also from the cartridge. On this page, another photo mat, and I added some of the photo corners, a little sticker. This flower is cut from the cartridge, and I just added some of that foil paper, just punched a little circle and added it in the center. On this page, this butterfly is from the cartridge, and so I sized it so that it would fit across this page. And I made a photo mat, and I just added this beaded tree, and I sort of bent it so that you could place the photo underneath there. Added some photo corners, and on the back you could add your picture, and that just slides behind the butterfly. And then I added a little sticker. On this page, this is an image from the cartridge, and again I used that foiled paper, sort of, what you call that, corrugated. And this flower came from the cartridge, so I cut it, and then I made some more cuts inside the cuts to make that just sort of flow a little freely. And this is a butterfly that's cut from the cartridge, and you'll see that later on the back. Added a sticker and a little image here and another sticker. And then on the last page, this pocket was cut from the cartridge, as well as this tag, which has a window, and so you could place, this might not fit, but you can place a picture in there. And both of these butterflies were cut from the cartridge, and I just layered the small one on top of this one. And so there are two tags that fit in the pocket, and this is one of the tags that was cut from the cartridge, and you can see the detail on that, those tags. And that's another thing, that this cartridge has a lot of tags, very nice tags that you can cut. Added a sticker, and on this one I just added some little feather there, and so that could be used as a photo mat, and that just slides in there. And then on the back, I cut this fence down so that it wouldn't cover the binding here, and because I had used one of my EK Success punches and I didn't want it to cover the binding, so I cut that down some. And these butterflies are the negatives from this tag. This tag is also cut using the cartridge, and so that's how the tag looks. And so this tag is layered. I think I have about maybe 3 tags layered there, and that just fits in there. And as I said, these butterflies are from the tag, and so I put them on the fence and added some bling in the center. And then my binding, as you can see, I just wrapped it around from front to back and used my EK Success punch there. So this is the mini that I designed using the Picturesque cartridge and my Gypsy and lightweight chipboard, and I love the way that came out. And maybe I'll do a series on these cartridges and creating mini albums. I'll let you know if I decide to do that. Okay, there was one other thing that I was going to show you, and it was the sheet that I cut all the photo corners from this cartridge. I told you I would make a layout using that sheet, and so let me show you my layout. And the paper line that I use for this layout, let's see, can I bring that down? Was the Wild Rose by these Colorbop, and you can find that at Walmart, and it has some gorgeous papers in it. And this is my layout. As you can see, there is the negative sheet there in the background, and I just took a piece of red paper that had a something already die cut on it, and I just took another piece of paper and filled that space in, and I fussy cut these flowers from the design paper, and die cut the word cherish, and just added some pictures, and I did some photo mats with some other pages in the stack. And that's my layout using leftover negative, die cut negative. So thank you for watching, and thank you all for subscribing, and let me know what you thought of my projects, and see you next time.